Today's video is about bringing attention to a very sneaky blind spot that I often see as a financial advisor. Whether you just started your financial journey or you've already amassed significant wealth, what I'm going to cover today is going to have a major impact or already has had a major impact on your financial life. I've spoken to people who are seeking financial advice from all walks of life. Sat across the table from people who grew up homeless, people who grew up in homes where money was never talked about, people with immigrant parents who sacrificed everything, or people who grew up as trust fund kids or very comfortable, or others where the first time they had exposure to significant wealth was through an inheritance or some windfall of cash. Different backgrounds, different incomes, different assets, but the same theme keeps showing up. There is an invisible money story from your past that is running your financial life today, and most people don't even realize it. That story shapes how you think about money, how you spend money, how you save money, and ultimately what you do with every dollar. And here's the part most people miss. You don't need another budget or app to see the progress you want. You don't even need tons of extra money. You need a money story and a money mindset that actually serves you. So in this video, I want to pull that blind spot into the light, show you how it has affected other people I've worked with or spoken to, and help you begin to rewrite your money story so you can have a story that serves you with purpose. If you are here for trending news or some hot stock pick, this is not that. In this video, we are going to slow down and look at the thing that quietly drives all your money decisions. You'll see how thoughts lead to feelings, feelings drive actions, and actions get results. And those results then go to reinforce your thoughts. We're going to walk through 3 common but real money stories, from growing up homeless to growing up with immigrant parents, or a really common one, growing up where money was never talked about. For each story, we're going to look at how a similar past can create different money stories and very different outcomes. I'll then walk you through my clear financial planning process to help you begin to rewrite your money story, plus 2 good options for anybody who's ready to take action when it comes to their money story. So here are the core principles or ideas that I want you to think about while you watch this video. Your thoughts about money shape your financial reality. Your money story from your past is still influencing your financial decisions today, whether it's conscious or subconscious. And in order to change your current financial situation, you first need to change your thoughts and your money story. Most of us haven't chosen our money thoughts or money story. They were absorbed by parents, culture, or life experiences. So in this video, it's your chance to pause and ask, are the stories that you're carrying about money actually helping you create the life that you want? So let's talk about some real life examples. So here's a story that I've unfortunately heard too many times. I grew up homeless as a kid. Shelters, cars, tents, couch surfing. I remember how scary and hopeless it felt, and I promised myself I would never let that happen again. I've heard this story multiple times. Very similar start, very similar story, but drastically different outcomes. For some people, that homeless chapter becomes a mission. It becomes fuel to never have money issues again. They take it as inspiration to build something that gives them security. I've seen that story turn into multi-million dollars of income, lead to the creation of a business to never have to work for somebody else, chasing a stable government job for the benefits, or a deep drive to buy real estate so their family always has a home base. Underneath all those different paths, the core thought still sounds like, money is how I create safety and options. I can build that. And when that's the story, the actions that follow are things like learning skills that increase their income, taking calculated risks on a business or career move, being intentional when it comes to buying a home or making an investment, not just reacting, putting real structure around their money with plans, timelines, and specific accounts for specific goals. The result is often a growing income, more stability, and the sense of we're never going back to our homeless days. The story shifts from I'm at the mercy of life to I'm capable of building safety and security. Other people with a very similar background, they grew up homeless, tell me something very different. It sounds something like, I was homeless when I was a kid, so my current wealth and financial standing feels like it could all disappear tomorrow. The mission is still never again, but the thought behind it is a lot more fragile. It can vanish any second. That can show up as hoarding cash, but never feeling like it's enough. Being afraid to invest because what if I lose it all? Avoiding decisions because every decision has the weight of feeling like it could ruin everything. Buying real estate from a place of panic and fear instead of a clear plan. Or doing the opposite, never committing to a home because they don't feel safe anywhere. The actions that follow tend to look like holding on to money with a closed fist, saying no to opportunities that could increase stability, or living in constant financial anxiety even though the numbers look good on paper. The result is often little to no long-term growth, living in constant fear or anxiety, and a story that says, see, you're never really safe. Same homeless story, different thoughts, different experiences and feelings of safety, different actions, and then ultimately different results. If you grew up without financial security, it makes sense that money feels like a loaded topic. The invitation here is not to judge yourself, it's to notice or to observe. What story did I take from my past experience? And is it actually helping me create the safety or the life that I want now? So now let's look at another story that's very common, but a lot more people I think can relate to this one. This is one of the most common things that I hear in first conversations with new prospective clients. We didn't talk about money in my house while growing up. No big money lessons, no real explanations. Maybe you picked up on the sense of stress or anxiety around money, but no adult ever walked you through it, discussed it, or shared openly about current family financial situation with you. Same basic story, money wasn't talked about at home, but it can lead to very different paths or outcomes. For some people, that silence turns into the thought, nobody explained this stuff to me, so I'm gonna learn it myself. That could look like finally wanting to understand what's going on with your money, reading books, taking a course, asking questions, ultimately building your own judgment, wanting to feel empowered and not dependent when it comes to financial decisions. That story sounds like it's my responsibility to get educated so I can make my own decisions. So you start scheduling time to look at your accounts and organizing things. You ask the dumb questions anyway, instead of nodding along, pretending to know. You begin to develop a simple system so you understand what's coming in, what's going out, and where is it going. You raise your hand and say, I want to be part of these money conversations, even if you feel lost or feels awkward at first. The result is growing confidence, less shame, more intentional choices instead of guessing or copying what other people do. The story shifts from no one taught me to I can learn this and make clear decisions for myself. Other people with the same background can take it a completely different direction. Their internal story sounds more like, money is stressful and confusing. When it comes up, it usually ends badly, so I'd rather just not deal with it. That can show up as avoidance, not opening up statements or credit card bills when you're supposed to and waiting until you have to, pushing off budgeting or avoiding looking at your checking account, feeling anxious, or a big word I hear often is ashamed anytime money is mentioned. It can also show up as outsourcing everything. My spouse handles all of that. My parents will figure that out. I'm just not a money person. It looks like convenience, but underneath, if I don't engage, I don't have to feel stupid, guilty, shameful, or overwhelmed. So you tune out during money conversations. You nod along instead of asking those questions. You make big decisions like buying a house, buying a car, taking out student loans without understanding the financial ripple effect. The result can be dependence on somebody else always handling it, staying in the dark about your own situation, and a lingering sense of shame or financial anxiety that you can't quite put your finger on. See, these stories have a similar start to their relationship with money, but that start leads to different thoughts, leads to different actions, and ultimately much different results. If money was never talked about in your home, it makes total sense that it feels awkward or heavy to talk about now. The first step here isn't to feel shame or guilty, it's to recognize that silence as a space to either step into it, to learn and develop, or avoid and continuously feel that shame or guilt. Okay, so here's another money story I hear often. It sounds a lot like this. My parents are immigrants. They came here with nothing. They work nonstop so we can have a better life. Multiple jobs, working night shifts, having to send money back home. You grow up watching that, you absorb a strong message. Money is serious. Don't waste it. Don't mess this up. Same core story, immigrant parents and sacrifice, but it can shape your life in so many different ways. For some, money can become a safety net to carefully build. For others, it always feels fragile, like it could disappear in any moment. It can show up in how you make money or your career choice. Choosing a career that your parents would approve of, that would be respectable to them. Staying in a job that you've outgrown because risking a change would be disrespectful to their sacrifice. It can show up in saving and investing, with strong saving habits and being comfortable living beneath your means, or the fear of spending or even investing, like the fear of losing money or enjoying money would be a failure to your family. It can show up in family responsibilities, like feeling a deep duty to support your parents or extended family financially, aka sending money back home. And that can look like beautiful generosity or a constant pressure to say yes, even if it's hurting you financially. It can show up with your spouse spouse and your children. So you can see similar upbringing, but different thoughts like, I must not waste their sacrifice. They did this, so I could choose differently. I'm responsible for everybody else first. I can support them while still building a life that fits me. Each of those thoughts can lead to a different feeling, then action, and then ultimately result. Same sacrifice, different story, which leads to a completely different way of living with money. Now, I can share tons of other examples or stories about people's money past and how that shows up in present life today. But the point that I want to instill here is that none of the outcomes are guaranteed. Your story doesn't lock you into a set future. Similar starts often create very different stories and outcomes, but your money mindset, the story that you tell yourself about your past experiences, is incredibly powerful. Your money story leads to thoughts. Those thoughts create feelings. Feelings drive actions, and actions get results. Good financial planning is not just about accounts and spreadsheets. It's about using money as a tool to support your needs, values, and goals. And to do that, you need to notice what you believe about money and then realize or recognize where those beliefs come from. Then decide which ones are actually serving you now. And that's exactly what my clear financial planning process helps my clients do. So here's the simple framework I use to help people rewrite their money story that you can apply to your life today. You could do this with a notebook tonight. The acronym is CLEAR. C stands for clarify your current story. I invite you to write down the thoughts you frequently have about money. I'm bad with money. My money always disappears. I don't know where it goes. I'm fine now, but it could all go away. Don't edit, just get the script out of your head and onto paper. And it doesn't need to be a negative script. It can be a positive script as well. Just understand what your current money story is and the thing that keeps on running through your mind. L stands for lay it all out and locate where this money thought came from. Was it your parents, culture, some moment of crisis, a big windfall? What is the thing that has given you your money story? When you see that your belief has some origin, you realize that it's not a law of nature and that you have the power to change your belief or to change the story that you're telling yourself from your past experience. E stands for evaluate. Once you've identified a money story of yours, I want you to ask yourself, what feelings does this story create for me? What actions do those feelings lead to? And what result am I getting from those actions? You can have multiple stories with multiple feelings, thoughts, and results, but write them all down so you can begin to get clear on what's driving your money decisions. A is for take action. So for every unhealthy thought that you've identified, rewrite that thought into something that's more positive that will serve you well in your financial journey. So for example, money was never talked about at home. So instead of avoiding money, rewrite that to I am learning how to make empowered and educated money decisions for myself. And finally, R stands to review and repeat, to continue developing your money story, reviewing the feelings and the actions that it drives in your life and asking yourself, is it serving me well? Do this on a regular basis so you can continue to change and enhance your story so it serves you to the best of its ability. So if you're still watching this probably hit some chord for you. So here are 2 gentle next steps. Option 1, begin to do this yourself. If you like to process things on your own, you are welcome to grab the free tools that I put together in my school community. Link is in the description below. Option 2 is done with you. If you're thinking, I don't want to have to unpack this alone, the other option is a free discovery call with me. On that call, we'll map out your main money stories, identify where your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results are out of alignment, and we'll sketch out a plan to move from drifting to intentional when it comes to your financial story. No pressure, no hard sale, just the space to talk this through to see if having an advisor in your corner would actually be helpful. Your income matters, your investments matter, but how you think and how you feel about money is the thing that ties everything together. Most likely there is a money story from your past that is running the show. It's something that you didn't choose, but you can rewrite. So here's your 1 assignment for the week. Write down the 3 money thoughts that run through your head the most. For each one, ask, when I think this, how do I feel? What do I do? And what results do I get? Then ask, is this thought building the life I actually want? If the answer is no, that is not a failure. That just means you found the work. Use my free community or book the call. Just don't stay on autopilot. See you in the next video.